I remember like a loud crash sound.
Even though it's been 3 years, it's still difficult for Brandy Jo Furniss to talk about what happened.
It's hard to kind of look at those pictures and remember how bad it was.
It was November 2019. The young mother, working as a hospice nurse, was on her way to see a patient. Driving down County Line Road, she remembers praying to God and thanking him for such a beautiful day.
And this is one of the last things I remember is right here.
This 2-pound rock in the back of a truck traveling the opposite direction flew out and slammed into Brandy Jo's windshield. She doesn't remember what happened next because the rock hit her in the face, but witnesses say she veered off the road, crashed through a mailbox and a fence, then hit another fence before stopping.
The next thing I remember is so much pain and blood splurting everywhere.
2 bystanders rushed to help Brandy Jo, and an ambulance was called.
I remember asking the ambulance crew if they believed in God and if they would pray for me, and they kept reassuring me I'd be okay.
The left side of her face was crushed. Brandy Jo had 9 fractures, and her left eye socket was pushed in.
It's a miracle, not only that the rock didn't kill me, that I didn't hurt someone else, and that the crash didn't kill me.
As Brandy Jo was being treated at Irmac, investigators were on the scene trying to figure out what happened. They found the rock in the side interior pocket of the driver's door. 2 witnesses told police they saw the stone fly out of the passing truck.
The great person that stopped, he saw it bounce off the road and he thought, okay, it's gonna hit her bumper. And he's like, a second or two later, I just went off the side of the road.
Unsecured loads killed over 500 people, injured 39,000, and caused more than 200,000 crashes nationwide during a 4-year period, according to the AAA Foundation of Safety. Idaho law requires any person operating a vehicle to make sure loads are secured so they don't become loose, detached, or a hazard to others.
It's one of those things that could be, an innocent overlook, but could change the course of someone's life in a matter of seconds.
There are some exceptions to the law, such as trucks transporting potatoes or other agricultural products, but in most cases, the driver must secure all items.
Use the right straps. Don't use bungee cords for something that a bungee cord is not adequate for.
4 screws were put in Brandy Jo's face, and she had to relearn how to smile. She went through months of physical therapy, and her anxiety was through the roof when it came to driving again. Brandy Jo has never been back to the scene of the crash that nearly killed her until now.
And so, right here, I was knocked out and took out the mailbox, the fence. There were trees right there.
What is it like to be back here?
I'll be honest, my heart's pounding a lot between that and just seeing all these trucks driving by. It makes me feel really uncomfortable.
Brandy Jo walks around the gravel where her car came to a stop. She is shocked to see pieces of her old vehicle still here.
That's insane.
What do you have?
3 years later, and
those are the pieces of her car.
It's an emotional visit, but one Brandy Jo is glad to make. She says she holds no ill will to the driver of the truck carrying the rock and is sharing her story now to prevent similar accidents from happening again.
It just takes a little bit of time to secure your load or to clean up after a load. Just do it, because no one thinks it's going to happen to them.
As for the rock, Brandy Jo plans to paint her favorite Bible verse on it, Jeremiah 29:11.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, to care for you, not harm you.
And she's using her experience to grow and hopefully save lives.
As awful as it was, in some ways I know I'm as tough as a rock. It didn't take me out.
In Idaho Falls, Nate Eaton, EastIdahoNews.com.